When Marcus Aurelius entered a room, even his enemies paused. He didn't have to shout, threaten, or speak out. His mere presence earned him respect. But why is this? Why do some people immediately command attention while others are ignored or underestimated? The answer isn't to be loud or act aggressively. True authority is established by the way you conduct yourself, the way you control your actions, and the quiet confidence you display. People notice your body language, your appearance, and your facial expressions before you even speak. If you remain calm and collected, others will respect you. If you don't take yourself seriously, others are unlikely to. In this video, you'll learn how to command respect without saying a word. You'll learn how to project an aura of authority through your posture, eye contact, walking style, facial expression, and silence. Respect isn't something you demand, it's something that happens naturally. Once you recognize how to express it, the way people treat you will change forever. Chapter 1. Clothing. Respect begins with self-expression. Your clothes speak long before you do. They show who you are, how you feel, and how seriously others should take you. It's not a superficial matter, and it's not about vanity. The way you dress sends a clear message to the world about your discipline, self-respect, and purpose. Before anyone hears your voice or understands your actions, they've already made a judgment based on your appearance. Whether you're walking into a room for a job interview, a social gathering, or a business meeting, your outfit tells a story, whether you like it or not. Marcus Aurelius, the wise and stoic Roman emperor, understood this perfectly. He didn't wear extravagant golden armor or elaborate attention-grabbing clothing to proclaim his status. Instead, he chose simple yet dignified garments that reflected his inner strength and authority. His clothes didn't demand recognition, they quietly conveyed his sense of power. Someone who is truly confident doesn't need to adorn their body with loud displays of wealth or status. Their mere presence is enough to command respect. It's a reminder that simplicity can be just as effective as opulence when chosen thoughtfully and deliberately. The way you present yourself through clothing reflects your attitude and self-esteem. If you wear unkempt, wrinkled, or messily thrown together clothes, you signal a lack of care and self-respect. People will notice and make unconscious judgments based on your appearance. But when you consciously choose to wear well-fitting, clean, and carefully selected clothes, you demonstrate respect for yourself and the people around you. Your clothes become a symbol of your inner discipline, clarity, and the appreciation you bring to the situations you enter. It's not about wearing expensive brands or flashy outfits. It's about wearing clothes that are appropriate and make you feel strong and grounded. A well-fitting coat, well-groomed shoes, and colors that match your personality can make a powerful impression. Colors have a psychological impact, and understanding this can give you the edge. Dark tones often convey determination and seriousness, while simple, understated patterns signal focus and clarity. A sloppy appearance, on the other hand, signals carelessness, while a well-thought-out outfit demonstrates strength and control over yourself and your surroundings. Imagine a man walking through a crowded room in a perfectly fitting dark coat. He walks upright, his posture stable, his gaze calm and controlled. He says nothing, but his presence demands attention. Without saying a word, he exudes authority. This is the kind of power that comes from self-presentation, the ability to make an impression through one's appearance that resonates far more powerfully than words ever could. This effect can be achieved through thoughtful and deliberate clothing choices. It's not about being flashy, it's about being intentional. Respect doesn't begin with words, it begins with the first impression you make. The way you present yourself tells people how to treat you before you say anything. Use this power wisely and consciously. Take pride in your clothing, not to show off, but to show that you respect yourself and the people you meet. Clothing is more than fabric and design. It's an essential tool in the language of respect. Make it work for you. Chapter 2. Walk as if you knew your destination. Every step you take tells a story. It speaks before words ever do, and long before you sit or speak, the people around you have already made a subconscious judgment based on your gait. Are you walking through life with purpose and clarity, Or are you wandering aimlessly, unsure of where you're going? It may seem subtle, but the way you walk carries enormous weight. A person who walks consciously and with intention exudes calm and confidence. On the other hand, someone who walks hurriedly, anxiously, or disjointedly exudes a very different energy, one of restlessness and uncertainty. Look at a leader. They don't rush, they don't push. They move purposefully, each step measured, controlled, and full of intention. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, was the epitome of this principle. Despite the pressure and countless intrigues around him, he never had to rush. His mind was clear, so his body followed suit. His steps were deliberate, his pace steady. There was no frantic rush to prove himself, for his inner clarity determined his outward demeanor. This is the essence of true leadership: calmness, certainty, and the ability to proceed with purpose. The secret lies in the balance between relaxation and decisiveness. Let your arms swing naturally and freely at your sides, rather than holding them rigidly against your body. Every step you take should be deliberate. Don't rush or shuffle, move with purpose. Keep your head up and your gaze focused on what's ahead, not the ground. If you're unsure, your body will show it. Things get crowded, hectic, and often you'll try to minimize space as if hoping to disappear. But clarity doesn't come from shying away or hiding. It comes from being seen, standing tall, and moving with purpose. When you walk with confidence, you announce your sense of direction to the world without having to say a word. An upright posture and a gait that conveys clarity are essential for making a strong impression. Here's a simple exercise to put this principle into practice. Walk slowly across a room, paying attention to each step. Feel the ground beneath your feet and move intentionally. Then increase your pace slightly, but without haste. Notice how your posture changes as you move. Think about how each step relates to your goal. While it may seem that hurrying is the fastest way to go, those who walk steadily and deliberately are the ones who truly know where they are going. The most effective people don't need to announce their presence. They don't need to rush to prove their worth. Their behavior speaks volumes before they even open their mouths. They walk through life with intention, and others naturally take them seriously. Their movements, calm, deliberate, and meaningful, signal that they know exactly what they're doing and where they're going. So the next time you take a step, remember, it's not just your body moving, it's your confidence, clarity, and purpose being communicated to the world around you. Chapter 3. Presence. The invisible force that attracts people. Some people walk into a room, and without saying a word or making any grand gestures, they immediately change the energy. It's not their clothes, their loud voice, or the way they physically occupy space. It's something deeper, something subtle, yet powerful. Their presence is undeniable, yet demands no attention. They don't have to push themselves into the spotlight, yet everyone notices them. But why is that? What distinguishes them from those who fade into the background? True presence isn't about loudness or attention-grabbing behavior. It's not about showing off or forcing others to look at you. Rather, it stems from a deep inner calm, clarity, and confidence. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, understood this truth. Although he ruled an empire, he didn't need to shout or embellish his words to be heard. His presence, his very being, inspired respect. He knew that authority doesn't have to be proclaimed loudly. It comes from within. The key to presence lies in your inner demeanor. People can sense whether you trust yourself or not. Those who are stable within themselves radiate this energy, while those who feel insecure or small send out the exact same signal. Presence doesn't begin with what's visible to the world. It starts in your mind. Your thoughts shape how you behave and how others perceive you. Breathing plays a bigger role than most people realize. When you breathe shallowly, you give off a sense of urgency and stress. But when you breathe deeply and intentionally, you send the signal that you are calm and in control. Your body naturally follows your breath. Slow, controlled breathing leads to a more relaxed posture, and this relaxed posture inspires respect. It's not about holding a certain posture, it's about staying calm and grounded. Your focus also plays a crucial role in your presence. People who are constantly nervously looking around or whose minds are elsewhere tend to lose their impact. They diffuse their energy, making them less noticeable. But those who are fully present in the moment, who pay attention to their surroundings and the people they interact with, radiate a magnetic energy. They don't have to make any effort. Their focus alone draws attention to them. True presence is about being both physically and mentally aware of where you are and who you are with. There's a simple trick to practicing this. Move more slowly. Not lazily, not artificially, but deliberately. When you rush, when your steps are hurried or your gestures are exaggerated, you lessen the weight of your presence. But when you move with intention and thought, you give yourself a kind of weight, an invisible force that cannot be ignored. People with a strong presence cannot be rushed because they are in no hurry to prove themselves. To practice. Become aware of your body the next time you enter a room. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Breathe deeply and calmly. Don't rush to speak. Don't immediately fill the silence with unnecessary words. Simply allow yourself to be present. Notice how much your presence alone changes the way others perceive you. You'll see that true presence doesn't require a single word. It's an invisible authority that speaks louder than any speech or performance ever could. And while presence can't be forced, it can certainly be developed through practice. Ultimately, presence is an art, a quiet force that flows from within outward. It cannot be faked, nor can it be achieved by force, but when cultivated, it becomes an irresistible force that naturally inspires respect and admiration. Chapter 4. Silence. Silence is a powerful force, perhaps the most powerful tool available to anyone who understands their true value. Those who remain silent effectively command attention and respect. The greatest leaders in history, figures such as Marcus Aurelius, Mahatma Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela, understood the profound impact of silence. They knew when to speak, and perhaps more importantly, when to remain silent. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of power. Being able to sit still, observe, reflect, and absorb is a skill few have truly mastered, but it holds the potential to shift dynamics in ways words cannot. Most people are afraid of silence. They feel compelled to fill every quiet moment with chatter, usually to hide their insecurity. But silence is not a weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. It's the ability to remain calm and unflappable, embracing the silence rather than fearing it. A person who doesn't rush to fill the void with words exudes an invisible authority. When you're not constantly explaining or justifying yourself, you generate a quiet but undeniable sense of power. People begin to sense that you're someone who doesn't need recognition, and that alone commands respect. Marcus Aurelius once written, "Your actions speak for you, not your words." Therein lies a tremendous truth. The greatest communicators are often those who speak the least. They know the importance of pausing before a response, placing a moment of silence between their thoughts and words. This brief pause, while simple, signals that you are in control of the situation. It shows that you are not in a hurry, that you are deliberate in your speech. This small act forces others to wait for your response, subtly shifting the balance of power in your favor. In any conversation, this moment of silence radiates a quiet power, turning the tables on those who might expect an immediate response. In moments of conflict or tension, the silence becomes even stronger. Those who are easily provoked, who react immediately with words or defensive gestures, often lose the upper hand. But those who remain calm, who endure the storm of others' stares and words without batting an eyelid, become a force to be reckoned with. In these moments, silence becomes an unspoken defense, a protection more powerful than words could offer. It is a form of sovereignty, a sign of inner strength. It's equally important to know when not to speak at all. Many people feel the urge to join in every conversation, believing their participation is necessary. However, those who constantly butt in discussions can appear distracted or insecure. Truly respected, however, are those who choose their timing. They understand that their words carry weight, and they are careful about when and how they use them. In doing so, they create a presence more powerful than any spoken sentence. Consider how you conduct conversations. During your next conversation, whether professional or personal, try this. Take a moment and count to 3 in your head before you respond. That brief pause, just 3 seconds, can change the entire course of the conversation. It gives you control over your words, allows you to choose your response consciously, and forces the other person to wait and think. The result is a new dynamic, one in which you maintain the upper hand and exude confidence and authority. Silence isn't just about not speaking, it's about presence. It's about showing that you don't need the approval or validation of others. When you master silence, you become more than just a participant in conversations. You become someone who commands respect without saying a word. The power of silence lies in its ability to create space, to show that you're comfortable, that you're safe enough to wait, listen, and reflect. It commands respect effortlessly. Master it, and the world will begin to see you not as someone who needs to fill silence, but as someone who intentionally holds it. And if you enjoy the content, consider becoming a member of the channel. In addition to supporting the channel, you'll also receive exclusive content. Click the link in the description and become a member now. Back to content. Chapter 5. The Gaze, the Art of Controlled Eye Contact. The often underestimated gaze holds immense power. With a single look, everything can change. It can inspire respect, reveal vulnerability, or radiate inner strength. Your eyes can do more than just see. They communicate before the words ever leave your lips. They show what you feel, how you perceive yourself, and what you stand for. Picture this. A man stands before a crowd, his gaze calm and serene. Before he speaks, before he utters a single word, his eyes are already sending a message. A calm, unwavering gaze demands attention. It doesn't have to beg for respect. It naturally commands it. Now imagine an emperor standing before his soldiers. If he avoids eye contact, nervously keeping his gaze on the ground, doubt will creep into the hearts of his men. But if his eyes meet theirs, unwavering, calm, and full of determination, those soldiers will follow him. Not because of the crown on his head, but because of the authority in his gaze. His eyes alone radiate a quiet strength that makes his leadership unquestionable. That is the power of eye contact. It is the unspoken language of authority and respect. There is a fine line, however, between a confident gaze and a threatening stare. The former attracts, the latter repels. Your goal should be clarity, not intimidation. When speaking to someone, hold your gaze for a few seconds and then gently look away. Avoid scanning the room or nervously looking away, as this signals insecurity. Instead, move your eyes consciously and purposefully to show that you are comfortable in your own skin. Many people unconsciously search for an escape route in their gaze and constantly look back and forth. This restless energy communicates discomfort. But if you can hold a person's gaze, not out of aggression, but out of self-assurance, you are demonstrating a calm inner strength. Marcus Aurelius once wisely said, "A man's spirit is revealed in his eyes." It is in this unspoken moment of eye contact that the respect one receives is often gained or lost. A weak gaze often arises from insecurity. People who have trouble taking themselves seriously avoid eye contact or their gaze wanders too quickly, betraying their lack of confidence. The antidote to this insecurity is awareness. Be aware of where you are looking. Practice maintaining constant eye contact, even in conversations where you feel unsure. You don't have to stare, but don't avoid it either. In moments of confrontation, your gaze becomes even more decisive. If you look away, you relinquish control. If you hold the gaze for too long, you risk appearing confrontational. The key is balance. Look the other person calmly and firmly in the eyes, and you retain control of the interaction. Here's an exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and look into your own eyes, not just for a few seconds, but for a full minute. You may feel the urge to look away, and the discomfort increases as you face your own gaze. This discomfort is an indicator of where your confidence lies and where it needs work. Practice this daily, and soon your gaze will naturally become calm, exuding peace and confidence. In every interaction, your gaze speaks volumes. It sets boundaries, dictates the dynamic, and signals your confidence. Those who master the art of eye contact don't need to raise their voice. They don't need to demand respect. It's given automatically. Their steady gaze, their silent presence, commands it in the most powerful unspoken way. Chapter 6. Setting boundaries. Make it clear what you will and will not tolerate. Respect begins when your boundaries are clear. Every day, people will test you, whether consciously or unconsciously. They'll want to know how far they can push you, how much they can endure without you reacting. It's easy to let others take advantage of you, especially if you're afraid of confrontation or have a desire to be liked. But the truth is, if you don't set clear boundaries, sooner or later you'll be ignored, overlooked, or manipulated. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, had to defend his integrity against intrigue, betrayal, and manipulation. But no matter the pressure he faced, he never allowed others to dictate his principles or control his thinking. He understood that self-respect begins with clear boundaries. As he wrote, "A self-respecting person makes unmistakably clear where their boundary lies." This isn't an act of arrogance or aggression, it's about protecting one's inner peace and values. Setting boundaries starts with your attitude. People are less likely to challenge someone who stands firm in their decisions and isn't afraid to be clear about their limits. But you don't have to set boundaries by being harsh or aggressive. In fact, being calm and firm is often the most effective way to enforce your boundaries. For example, if someone disrespects you, there's no need to yell or argue. A simple, clear statement like, "I won't tolerate that," is enough. No reasoning or debate is needed. Clarity is key. By stating your point of view calmly and firmly, you show that you value yourself too highly to accept anything less than respect. Silence can also be an effective way to set boundaries. Not every provocation requires a response. In fact, sometimes the most effective way to set a boundary is simply to not respond. If someone tries to manipulate you or crosses a boundary, you don't have to defend yourself or explain why they're wrong. The simple act of not engaging demonstrates that you don't need to justify your worth or values. Your mere presence, silent, steady, and unwavering, becomes a powerful form of boundary setting. Think back to a time when someone crossed your boundaries. How did you react? Could you have responded more confidently, calmly, and clearly? How would it feel to adopt a posture of inner strength, one in which you don't second-guess yourself and aren't influenced by others? As you practice setting clear, firm boundaries, you'll feel an inner strength that comes from knowing exactly where you stand. You'll become more confident and better able to maintain your peace without being swept away by the noise of others' expectations. Remember, boundaries aren't walls that keep people out. They're signs of self-respect. When you state them clearly and unapologetically, you automatically command respect from those around you. Through your actions, you demonstrate that you know your worth, and others will naturally respect that. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about showing that you value yourself enough to protect your time, energy, and assets. And when you do that, you'll find that the world begins to treat you with the same respect you give yourself. But there's something important to understand. If you've been trying to step out of your comfort zone and learn more for a long time, but still haven't succeeded, there may be something you're not aware of. I know what it could be. It's fear. Fear is like a snake that silently comes and influences you without you noticing. It makes you feel bad for days, months, and even years. Living like this is like being constantly sick. But I know a solution. The Stoic philosophers, along with modern psychology, have a way to help you get rid of it. I myself managed to cure myself of this fear. I created a video explaining how to get rid of this evil, and it's in the first comment. Click the link in the first comment and begin to heal yourself of this feeling of fear. Chapter 7. Facial expressions. Less expression, more authority. Your face is a powerful communicator. Even in complete silence, your expression speaks volumes. Every small movement, a raised eyebrow, a curled lip, the set of your jaw, sends signals about your emotions, your confidence, and your state of mind. What many people don't realize is that these expressions can consciously or subconsciously reveal inner tensions or insecurities. However, to be respected, you must learn to control them. The most respected people in any room are those who maintain a calm, neutral expression. They aren't guided by impulsive reactions or fleeting emotions. Instead, they use their expressions as an instrument of authority. Imagine Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, standing before an enemy envoy. Despite the tension of the moment, perhaps the pressure of a high-stakes negotiation or the weight of an impending battle, his face remains unwavering. There is no trace of nervousness, no forced smile to hide his uncertainty, and no twitch of his eyebrows to betray his emotional vulnerability. His gaze is calm, his features relaxed. It is this serene composure, this unwavering control of his expression that exudes power. His ability to conceal his inner thoughts gives him an undeniable strength. He becomes an enigma, a person not easily understood, and this mystery inspires respect. Compare this to those who wear their emotions on their faces: surprise, anger, uncertainty. These feelings are immediately visible and leave little to the imagination. The problem with such careless expressions is that they make you predictable. If people can easily detect your feelings, they can manipulate or exploit them. To develop authority, you must learn to maintain a neutral expression that signals control and calm. A face that remains impassive in the face of challenge and is not thrown off balance by external stimuli is a sign of inner strength. A common mistake people make is smiling excessively. A smile is a powerful tool, a symbol of friendliness and approachability, but when forced, it conveys insecurity rather than confidence. Constant smiling, especially when it's not genuine, weakens your position. On the other hand, the conscious use of your smile, when it's appropriate and sincere, conveys confidence. It shows that you're in control of your emotions and not trying to win approval or hide discomfort. The next time you stand in front of a mirror, take a moment to practice your expression. Look at your reflection with a calm, neutral face. Hold your gaze and relax the muscles in your face. Feel the control that lies in this simple posture. It reinforces the realization that you can choose not to reveal everything you think or feel. If you can maintain this neutral, collected expression, you will exude authority. People may not read you easily, but they will sense your strength. The less you reveal, the more power you project. A calm, composed face not only makes you appear confident, it also automatically inspires respect in others. In a world where emotions are often worn on one's sleeve, those who maintain control over their facial expressions stand out. It's not about hiding your feelings, but about choosing when and how to reveal them. Master this skill, and you'll find that your presence alone speaks louder than words could. Chapter 8. Attitude. Your posture speaks before you do. Long before words leave your mouth, your body has already communicated volumes. A slumped spine, slumped shoulders, or a nervous twitch of the hands sends a message, one that often lacks respect and confidence. People pick up on these subtle signals immediately. They may not even realize it, but their minds are already processing your posture and determining whether you are someone they should take seriously. We are social beings, and non-verbal cues like posture play a huge role in how we are perceived. Imagine the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled a vast empire at a time of enormous pressure and political intrigue. Surrounded by constant threats, he had to maintain not only his power, but also his dignity. Yet despite the chaos, his demeanor remained calm, collected, and unwavering. His back was straight, not out of pride, but out of inner clarity. His movements were deliberate and controlled, never hectic or rushed. This calm demeanor alone conveyed a sense of strength. It wasn't that Marcus was naturally endowed with composure. It was a conscious choice, a decision to embody his inner strength. He knew that the way he carried himself would be a reflection of his authority, and that spoke volumes. If you want respect, you must start with your posture. A straight back not only improves your appearance, it also transforms your presence. Imagine an invisible string pulling you upward, lengthening your spine. Keep your shoulders back, not in a forced, stiff way, but with ease and confidence. This simple adjustment opens your chest, makes you appear more grounded, and exudes confidence. When you present yourself with this level of presence, people sense it, often without knowing why. There is an unspoken confidence in those who take up space, who occupy the space without being dominant. But beware of arrogance. The key is to take up space without appearing pompous. The line between confidence and arrogance is fine and depends on how you move and carry yourself. Your movements too must exude control and calm. Hectic, restless gestures weaken power. Those who demand respect act with intention. Every hand movement, every head tilt is deliberate. Confidence doesn't come from fidgeting or nervously adjusting. It's a stillness that comes from within. A calm, deep breath can instantly bring your body into a relaxed, stable posture. When you breathe deeply and evenly, you exude serenity. When your breathing is rapid and shallow, you release tension. This difference is easy for others to sense. People intuitively sense whether you are anchored in your own confidence or whether you are nervous with insecurity. Want to test this for yourself? Stand in front of a mirror and experiment. First, lower your head slightly, pull your shoulders forward and arch your back. Notice how your energy seems to wane. Now straighten your spine, pull your shoulders back and lift your chin ever so slightly. Do you feel the difference? This surge of energy, this feeling of power, is not an illusion of the mind. It is your posture that affects your inner state. And just as it affects you, it will also affect the way others perceive you. When the philosopher Seneca once said, "The soul takes the posture of the body." When you hold yourself small, you begin to feel small, both in your own eyes and in the eyes of others. But when you stand tall and strong, you'll feel more capable and confident. Your posture isn't just an outward reflection, it has a direct impact on your inner state. Respect begins with how you physically conduct yourself, how you stand, sit, and walk. The moment you change your posture, the way others perceive you changes, so take responsibility for how you carry yourself. It's the first step to gaining the respect you deserve. Chapter 9. Serenity, the art of appearing unflappable. Imagine a man entering a tense room. Voices are getting louder, and someone throws a provocative question into the air to elicit a reaction. Another person laughs at a comment to divert attention, while another person shifts their posture to assert dominance. The scene is chaotic, yet amid all this commotion, one man remains silent. His eyes are steady, his breathing calm. He neither responds hastily, nor feels the need to add more words to the whirlwind of conversation. His mere presence exudes a calm confidence that changes the energy in the room. It is his composure that commands respect, not the sharpness of his words or the quickness of his reactions. True authority isn't demonstrated through loud proclamations or quick-witted rebuttals. It's demonstrated by the ability to remain calm while others around you lose control. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king who knew the weight of power and wisdom, often spoke of the value of restraint. He believed that the best form of revenge was not to emulate the actions of those who harmed you. Instead, it was about remaining true to yourself, calm and collected, no matter how others behaved. By remaining unwavering, you demonstrate superiority, not through violence, but through your inner peace. The beauty of composure lies in its subtlety. Those around you can sense whether you're calm or hiding an inner storm. If your movements are rushed, your breathing is rapid, or your gestures are nervous, it's a clear sign of insecurity. These frantic reactions betray a lack of control over your emotions. But when you slow your breathing, make deliberate movements and respond with thoughtful consideration, you appear virtually unassailable. You convey that nothing can unsettle you, no matter the provocation. This is the essence of self-control, control over your emotions, your impulses, and your actions. When faced with provocation or conflict, People allow their reactions to be dictated by external circumstances. They may become angry when insulted or feel compelled to justify themselves when criticized. But those who control their inner world will not fall victim to such reactions. Instead, they remain unshakable and steadfast in their own stability. This is not to say that they do not feel emotions. They do. But they have learned to control them, to pause before reacting, and to choose their actions wisely. The next time you find yourself in a heated situation or a conversation that threatens to escalate, try this. Pause for a moment. Before you respond, take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs and exhale slowly. Notice how the energy in the room shifts. When you wait, when you refuse to respond hastily, you set the pace. You control the dynamic. Those who react hastily often lose control of the situation, while those who remain silent for a moment hold the power. Serenity is not indifference. It's not about ignoring what's happening around you. On the contrary, it's the highest form of self-control, a conscious decision to remain calm and be the constant force in a turbulent situation. People respect those who can remain calm when everyone else is struggling. They recognize that true strength lies in restraint, in the ability to remain unaffected by external chaos. The mastery of serenity is the ultimate proof of control, and those who possess this composure are inherently respected. Those who learn to remain calm, focused, and attentive will naturally earn respect. Final thoughts. Respect cannot be forced. It comes to you through your attitude. It's about presence and inner peace. The strongest people are not the loudest, but those who can control themselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "He who conquers himself is stronger than he who conquers a city." True strength always begins within. You've learned how your body communicates. Your voice, your gaze, your gait, your posture, they all send signals. But the key is always your inner attitude. A person who understands themselves is unshakable. Don't let others influence you. If you can remain silent while others talk, you will naturally be taken seriously.